Hey everyone! Today we're unveiling the definitive ranking of the 20 most popular and battle-effective two-handed swords in history. And that last entry on our list at number 20? It's going to surprise you more than any other. So stick around to the end, because you need to see why our champion earned its crown. Our ranking criteria. We built this list on two pillars. First, popularity, cultural impact, historical fame, museum presence, modern HEMA and reenactment interest. Second, battlefield effectiveness, reach, cutting and thrusting performance, handling quality, tactical versatility, including techniques like half-swording and formation control, all backed by period manuals and historical records. Remember, this is our opinion, our criteria. Yours may be different, and that's perfectly fine. Now, let's count down from 20 to 1. 20. Two-handed Dadao, China. A broad, heavy-bellied cutter mounted on a long handle, the Dadao saw gritty, close-quarter service in early 20th century conflicts. In alleys and trench-like settings, its chopping power and sheer intimidation were undeniable, though its late arrival in the firearm era kept its overall battlefield legacy relatively narrow. Wielded primarily by Chinese infantry and militia during the Second Sino-Japanese War, it became a symbol of desperate, close-range resistance against modern weaponry. 19. Two-handed Estoc, Europe. A rigid, often edgeless thrusting sword engineered to probe armor gaps. Less cinematic than sweeping cutters, but in plate-heavy contexts, it was a surgeon's tool, excelling with half-swording and precise point control where edges simply failed. Used by late medieval knights and men-at-arms across France, Germany, and Italy, the Estoc was the answer to increasingly sophisticated plate armor on the battlefield. 18. Flamberge, or Flammenschwert, Europe. The wavy-bladed greatsword that turns heads in every museum. Functionally close to straight greatswords, with possible binding advantages in the bind, its ceremonial fame sometimes overshadows its genuine battlefield potential, but in trained hands, it was formidable. Carried by Swiss and German mercenaries, as well as ceremonial guards, the Flamberge served both as a psychological weapon and a status symbol among elite troops. 17. Großes Schwert, Great Sword, Holy Roman Empire. An umbrella term for big two-handers. Reach for formation control, wide parries, and decisive cuts. Not a single iconic model, but a weapon family that shaped infantry doctrine across late medieval Europe. Employed by various German and Central European infantry units, these greatswords were the workhorses of pike and shot-era warfare, wielded by soldiers tasked with breaking enemy formations. 16. Bidenhänder, Switzerland, Germany. A Swiss-German variant of the greatsword with distinctive parrying hooks near the ricasso, designed specifically for catching and controlling enemy polearms. Its name literally means both-hander, emphasizing its two-handed grip and specialized battlefield role in disrupting pike formations. Carried by Swiss and German mercenaries who specialized in breaking through enemy lines, the Bidenhänder combined defensive binding capabilities with powerful offensive strikes, making it a versatile tool for elite shock troops in Renaissance warfare. 15. Executioner's Sword, Europe. While primarily ceremonial, the two-handed executioner's sword represents a unique category of large blades designed for precise, powerful cuts. Its broad, heavy blade and specialized balance made it capable of clean decapitation strikes, requiring both strength and control. Used by professional executioners across medieval and early modern Europe, particularly in German-speaking regions, these swords symbolized judicial authority and demanded exceptional skill to wield effectively in their grim but historically significant role. 14. Kriegsmesser, or Großes Schwert, Germanic regions. A large, single-edged workhorse with rugged construction, ferocious cutting, intuitive mechanics, and easy transitions into grappling make it a favorite among infantry-style tactics, common among German foot soldiers and mercenaries who couldn't afford or didn't require knightly swords. The Kriegsmesser was the practical choice for brutal, close-quarters combat. 13. Changdao, China. Ming-era Chang saber drilled for anti-cavalry and open-order fighting. Military texts stress coordinated movement and cutting lanes rather than meeting momentum head-on. Effective reach with disciplined use. Ming Dynasty military units, especially those defending against northern nomadic cavalry raids, trained extensively with the Changdao as part of coordinated infantry formations detailed in General Qi Qiguang's military manuals. 12. Zhanmadao, China. Literally, horse-cutting saber, this massive single-edged blade was purpose-built to counter cavalry charges with devastating downward cuts. Its extreme length and weight required exceptional strength and training, but in the hands of disciplined infantry, it could cleave through riders and mounts alike. Used primarily during the Sung dynasty against northern cavalry threats, the Zhanmadao was wielded by specialized anti-cavalry units who trained specifically to time their strikes against charging horsemen, making it one of history's most fearsome dedicated anti-cavalry weapons. 11. Nagamaki, Japan. A long handle paired with a substantial blade, bridging sword and polearm. Hand spacing gives powerful leverage for long, sweeping cuts, while retaining nimbleness for redirection and recovery. Favored by Sohei warrior monks and samurai infantry, the Nagamaki offered versatility in both open field battles and temple defense, combining reach with the cutting power of traditional Japanese swordsmithing. Hanjian, China. The 10th on our list, classic Chinese straight sword. Often wielded two-handed in military contexts, combining elegant thrusting with swift cutting techniques. Its double-edged blade and balanced design made it equally effective in formation fighting and individual combat, embodying centuries of refined Chinese martial philosophy. Carried by officers, elite guards, and martial artists throughout multiple dynasties, the Hanjian represented both scholarly refinement and deadly battlefield efficiency in Chinese military tradition. 9th on our list is Claymore, the Highland greatsword with forward-slanted quillions. Culturally iconic and tactically credible, built for powerful charges, open terrain dominance, and the harsh realities of clan warfare. Scottish Highland warriors wielded the Claymore in clan battles and against English forces, where its reach and power proved devastating in the rough, open terrain of the Scottish landscape. 8. Katana, Japan. Primarily two-handed with legendary balance and cutting authority, supreme in small unit fights and duels, while it cedes raw reach to true greatswords. Its handling, draw mechanics, and cultural imprint are unmatched. The signature weapon of the samurai class from the Muromachi period onward, the katana was carried by warriors of all ranks and became inseparable from Bushido philosophy and Japanese martial identity. 7. Schnepf or Swiss saber, Switzerland. A distinctive two-handed cutting saber with a curved blade, the Schnepf combined Swiss martial pragmatism with devastating slashing power. Its design favored aggressive flowing cuts and rapid transitions, making it a formidable weapon in the hands of trained Swiss infantry and mercenaries. Wielded by Swiss Reichsläufer and other Confederation soldiers, the Schnepf represented an alternative to the straight greatsword tradition, offering superior cutting geometry while maintaining the reach and authority needed to control battlefield space. 6. Spadone, Italy. Italian sources emphasize tempo and line, turning the Spadone into a long measure scalpel. Against polearms, it creates angles. Against swords, it punishes entries. This doctrinal depth elevates its rank significantly. Taught in the sophisticated fencing schools of Bologna and Venice, the Spadone is wielded by professional soldiers, duelists, and those who study the geometric precision of Italian martial arts under masters like Antonio Moncellino and Achille Marazzo. 5. Montante, Iberia. Its rule sets give clear, repeatable tactics, escorting, dispersing groups, and locking down choke points. Dominate space with measured steps and controlled arcs, a standout in both history and modern HEMA circles. Elite Spanish soldiers and bodyguards trained specifically in Montante techniques learned the weapon through systematic instruction, with masters like Figueiredo codifying its use for both military and civilian protection scenarios. 4. Ōdachi or no-dachi, Japan. Monumental field swords with commanding reach. Excellent for anti-cavalry and formation control in open terrain, demanding to handle in tight quarters, but devastating with space and training. Reserved for exceptionally skilled and physically powerful samurai, the Ōdachi was often carried by retainers or displayed as offerings in shrines, though battlefield accounts confirm its use by elite warriors in open combat, where its intimidating presence and reach made it both a practical weapon and a symbol of martial prowess. 3. Tachi, Japan. Proven in mounted strikes and infantry engagements, the Tachi's slicing geometry and historical longevity give it both influence and bite, worthy of a podium finish for impact and battlefield efficacy. The weapon of choice for samurai during Japan's classical age of warfare, the Tachi was carried into the Genpei War and Mongol invasions, establishing the foundation of Japanese sword culture and proving its worth across centuries of conflict. 2. Longsword or hand and a half, Europe. No other sword enjoys such a broad corpus of surviving manuals, equally at home thrusting into gaps, cutting to break guards, and binding into throws. Its technical depth and widespread use across centuries secure the silver medal. From German Fechtmeisters like Johannes Lichtenauer to Italian masters and English knights, the longsword was the universal weapon of European martial training, studied by anyone serious about swordsmanship from the 14th through 16th centuries. 1. Zweihänder, Germany. The champion. The lance-necked greatsword epitomizes two-handed dominance, pike-breaking swings, sweeping binds, and the psychological shock of a blade that towers over the melee. Trained Doppelsoldner opened lanes in dense formations and controlled space like few weapons in history. For reach, formation disruption, versatility, and sheer cultural imprint, the Zweihänder claims the crown as the ultimate two-handed sword. Wielded by the legendary Doppelsoldner, elite German mercenaries who earned double pay for their skill and bravery. And there you have it, the definitive top 20. If you enjoyed this ranking, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss our deep dives into historical swords. Now, here's the big question. Which sword was your favorite? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one, and your feedback could shape our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.